Hi guys, today, we have one of the warmest dramas I've ever seen, and I'm sure you'll like it. The opening scene shows up a high school girl named Ji, standing in front of her family's car, waiting for her brother to help him move things to student housing. From behind we see Shu, whom Ji is stunned by seeing him. The scene goes back to middle school, where Ji was stray in the class, which leads the teacher to scold her, and asked for her father's come to have a conversation with him. Afraid of her parents, Ji seeks the help of her brother, but when she gets into his room, she sees his friend Shu, and gets mesmerized by him. Ji asks for Yan's help but he refuses. When he leaves, she asks Shu to pretend to be her brother and come to her school. Shu hesitates in the beginning, but when he knows that she is afraid, he goes with her. And the day pass, and young Ji falls for Shu knowing he is only 5 years older than her, and after it, 2 years passes without Shu sees Ji. Going back again to Ji, when Shu sees her, he can't believe when did she turn into a beautiful girl. At night, Yan tells Shu that Ji forgot her notebook with him. Shu calls Ji, so she tells him that she has an assignment tomorrow and she forgot the notebook in his desk when she was in their room in the morning, so he meets her in the morning to give it back to her, and he accompanies her to school. After that, her brother takes her to have dinner out with Shu and another friend, but there, she gets her period, and Shu notices that her skirt is stained, so he takes her to the restroom, calls her brother to come to her, and buys new skirt for her, and leaves telling her brother that she must be embarrassed. Then at the restaurant he gives her hot water, and takes all beef from her plate after knowing that she is allergic to meat. Then outside, he helped her get a teddy bear. Ji begins to feel his care, and she was so happy being near him again. He even takes care of her more than Yan. The next day, she goes with her friend to a cafe to be surprised by Shu working there. He serves her breakfast, saying it's on him, but she hears his boss telling him he will give him the advance he wants. When Ji leaves he finds that she put the money on the table, so he smiles gently. After a while, he sees her outside again with a male friend whom she rejects his love harshly. Shu goes to her and advises her to be gentle, and he tells her that she is still young for dating. Then, he gives her her money back telling her that he is not poor to this point, but he was happy that she thinks of him. Ji remembers all her times with Shu, from the first day she met him until now. How he defends her from her brother, and how he said she became beautiful, and how he helped her in writing her homework before school. But, the thing she didn't know that Shu is only considering her really as his younger sister. At the sports day in her school, Yan and Shu volunteer to supervise the day. There, Ji falls to the ground, so Yan carries her but he scolds her badly, so Shu takes her, and he applies medicine on her leg. Ji cries telling him that Yan is harsh unlike him, but he tells her that he loves her, but he was afraid so that he scolded her. Indeed, Yan comes to apologize, and he carries her to the hospital, but then, she sees Shu helping another girl, so she knows that he is nice to all girls, not only her. The next day, Shu goes to pick her from school as her leg still hurts, but she leaves with her friend and some girls bully them. Her friend leaves, and then Shu, who was searching for her everywhere, find her. Ji cries, and Shu hugs her tightly. Then Ji tells him everything, so Shu gets angry. He takes her home and gives her money instead of what they took. And then he tells Yan, who goes with him and their friends, and they go to the girls and threatens them not to approach Ji again. Then Yan's parents ask Shu to teach Ji physics, and despite she is good in all subjects, she tells Shu that she hates it, as it's boring. So, Shu takes her to a physics fair to convince her it's used in very interesting things, but she forgets her notebook in which she wrote about her love to Shu. Ji gets afraid that Shu saw it, so she is forced to tell them that it's an online relation. Shu feels strange feeling and knowing that she likes someone, so he tells her that she's still young for that stuff, but he was surprised by her telling him not to have a girlfriend too, so Shu smiles and promises her that if he get one she'll know first. Days pass, until Shu's graduation, and Ji goes to be with him, and Yan, and he tells everyone that she is his sister. Ji feels bad, but despite that she takes pictures with him. After that Shu spends his last day in this city in Yan's house, and Ji sees him at dawn leaving. Shu sees her and he waves his hand at her. One day, Ji hears Yan saying that Shu got a girlfriend. Ji gets frustrated, but she travels to his city to see him. When Yan discovers he calls her, asking why she did that, so she tells him that she is going to her online boyfriend, so he gets angry and orders her to stay at her place. Yan calls Shu to go pick his sister, and indeed, Shu goes to her worried but there was another girl with him. He asks her why she came, so she tells him crying that her boyfriend doesn't love her, and he sees her as a kid. Shu gets shocked that she still loves that guy, and he tells her angrily that she's still young to this, and when she grow up she might find someone better. Ji feels broken, knowing that she is no more to Shu than his younger sister, so she gives him his teddy bear back, with a tie as a farewell gift. When Yan arrives, Ji cries badly, so he hugs her to relieve her, telling her that everything will be alright. And Ji begins to study hard to attend a university in Shu's city, swearing to show him that she's not a kid. 2 years pass, and Ji indeed goes there, but she never meets Shu, till one day, she was at karaoke, and when she gets out for some fresh air, she was surprised by Shu sitting outside. Shu was amazed, then he tells her that the kiddo grew up and began to wear makeup. Ji deliberately tells him that she's no more a kid, and she gets in, but, when she leaves she finds Shu still waiting for her, and he takes her to the university housing. And he tells her that when Yan told him she's coming, he was happy to see her again, and he blames her for ignoring his messages for 2 years, but, he also calls her with kiddo, which increases her anger. Yan blames Ji for ignoring Shu, especially as he was always taking care of her and buys her gifts despite his poor financial situation. Now, Shu becomes a games developer, and his situation improved, but he's still living alone as his mother is dead and his father is in coma, because in the past, his father hit his friend with a car and he died, and his father went in that coma, and all those years, Shu was paying the debt for his father to his friend's family. Now he has money, but he's still alone, so that he was happy that she came to his city. Feeling guilty that Shu has no fault that she loves him, and that he is always nice to her, Ji decides to meet him, but he calls her and cancels the date, but she notices that his voice is tired, so he tells her that it is a stomach ache. Ji runs to the tired Shu and takes him to the hospital, and because he can't stand, Ji bumps into him and accidentally he kisses her head. Ji gets nervous, and Shu's heart beats fast for the first time. Then the doctor tells him that it is the appendix, and he must undergo surgery. After the surgery, Shu asks Ji to leave so as not to be late, but she refuses and stays with him and helps him wipe his face, making him more tense, and she even sleeps in the hospital. The next day, another patient thinks that they are married, but Shu makes fun of him saying that she is his younger sister, which leads to her anger, and when they head out of the hospital, he was wondering why she is sad. At his house she sees the picture with her in his graduation, but that was not enough to stop her anger, so she leaves him notes with the times of the medicines, then she leaves, but Shu at that time was collecting them happily. Shu stays all night thinking about her, he thanks her for being with him in his hard time, he remembers the last day in Yan's house, when he told her about his debt, and how she told him that when she grow up, she would help him pay it. Then, he remembers his kiss, and how she was blushing. He for the first time thinks of her as the sweet Ji, not his younger sister, but, he blows up those thoughts of his mind, knowing that she considers him only as a brother, not knowing that she loves him since middle school. Everything changes when a colleague who has a crush on Ji asks her out more than once. Ji takes advantage of the situation, and she goes to the cinema with him, ignoring Shu completely. At this time Shu was asking his boss why Ji is upset with him, so she tells him that's because he still treats her like a kid. Shu asks Ji out to apologize to her, but suddenly, the daughter of his father's friend who chases Shu always, claiming that he owes her his life as his father took her father's, comes out of the blue and she throws water on his face, but Ji gets angry and did the same for her. Outside, Shu tells Ji everything, and he thanks her for being by his side. After that, Ji calls him while he was at work, telling him that she's outside. Shu feels afraid after knowing that the girl is also here. He quickly goes to Ji telling her not to come to his company nor his house, but he didn't tell her the truth that he is worried that the girl could harm her, so Ji feels sad, thinking that he didn't want to see her. Willing to take revenge on him, Ji goes out with her friends, and she drinks excessively, then calls Shu telling him that she's drunk, and she didn't need him. Shu gets angry, and goes to pick her, only to see her with the guy who likes her. Shu gets jealous, and he pushes him and takes her, but Ji tries to push him, but he carries her on his back. Ji can't hold tears anymore, and she tells him that she loves someone who doesn't love her back. He is nice to her, but also to everyone. Shu gets shocked, and he tries hardly to relieve her. When he gets into the car, he puts his jacket on her when she sleeps, and he says with a broken heart, that he wishes if he could be that guy whom she loves. He can't let any other one protect her or even approach her, and he discovers that he was in love with her a long time ago, but he never understood his feelings. The next day, Shu takes Ji to the airport to travel to her city in the vacation, but, her friend comes to give her a breakfast and he confesses love to her, but Ji rejects him. When she gets into the car, Shu says with jealousy that she can't eat beef, and he eats the sandwich, while Ji looks at him in astonishment. Shu asks her if this is the one she loves, but she denies. Then she tells him to go get a girlfriend instead of interfering in her life. Shu tells her to introduce him to a one, but she tells him she knows only who are at her age, and for the first time, Shu tells her that he finds no problem to love a girl in her age. She's an adult now. And at this point she was stunned, as it's the first time he says that. After some time, they meet again in Yan's friend's wedding, and he was wearing the tie she gave him. Shu starts asking about the guy she loves, until he manages to make her nervous, and he discovers that she is lying about him, and at the end of the day, he gives her a bracelet, making her wondering about his change with her. The next day, he takes her to the airport to go to their city, and he meets a friend who thinks that she is his girlfriend, but Shu denies telling him that he is single. Ji was surprised because she thought that the girl she saw with him before was his girlfriend, but Shu denies and tells her that he promised to tell her before he gets anyone, which makes Ji very happy and he notices this. Days pass, and Shu takes care of Ji a lot. Until her birthday, when he sees her friend giving her a gift, so he takes it from her with obvious jealousy and asks her to come to his house. On the bus, he asks her to hold on to him so as not to fall, making her not bear his kindness any longer. At his house, Shu had prepared a surprise for Ji. Then he asks Ji about the guy who is chasing her despite her rejection of him, so Ji tells him that she is beautiful and everyone is chasing her, and without giving her any prior hints, Shu asks her if he can pursue her too to get her heart. Ji gets so nervous that she can't answer him and asks him for some time, which doesn't surprise Shu, because he knows that all her life she has treated him like her brother, and he never knew that she was in love with him since her childhood. Shu actually starts chasing Ji everywhere, even to college lectures, doing his best to get her heart. But she was still telling him that he should work harder, and Shu didn't know that she was postponing the matter until his birthday. Shu was surprised by her giving him a gift, and taking him to a restaurant and prepares food for him specially. Then when he blows out the candle, Ji asks him what he wished for, and he tells her that she knows what he wishes, so she tells him that it is a very easy wish because it has already been fulfilled, and that she agrees to become his girl, and Ji's heart was Shu's gift on his birthday. Discovering that Ji has a boyfriend, Yan decides to go to her to verify his identity. Yan calls her while she is with Shu and tells her that he is now seeing her with him, but when Yan sees his face, he is shocked. Shu tries to ease the matter, and tells him that they were going to tell him. But Yan shuts up and drives Ji home, and as soon as he does, he punches Shu hard because he hid the matter from him, but after a while he tells him that he is happy that it's no one else but him. But Shu tells him that she will kill him when she finds out that he punched him, so Yan asks him in fear to punch him too, and so does Shu. When Ji meets them, she learns that Yan hit Shu, so she starts yelling at him, but he tells her that Shu also hit him, so she turns to him and yells at him too, while they look at her and laugh. Yan reassures about Ji, especially when he notices that Shu returns to work again after their date, and that he doesn't cancel it, despite his busyness. And Shu is already doing everything he can to protect Ji. Even one day the girl who is chasing him goes to her and tells her that his father is a murderer, and that he owes her his life and she must leave him. But she tells her that he is not guilty of what his father did and that she will never leave him. And when Shu learns this, he goes to threaten the girl that if she only thinks of approaching Ji again, he will make her regret the most. When Ji and Shu return to her city for the summer vacation, Yan tells his parents about Ji and Shu, which worries them because of their knowledge of his family's circumstances. So her father tells him that he is a good person, but they are worried about Ji, but Shu doesn't give up and tells him that he will do everything to make her happy and protect her. Then, Shu calls Ji and tells her that something happened and that he will return to his city tomorrow. When Ji learns what her father said, she gets angry and decides to follow Shu and tell them not to interfere in her life because she is no longer a child. Ji rushes to the airport with the letters she used to write to Shu when she was young, and tells him that she had never dated anyone online, and that everyone she meant she loved before was him, and that she had come to his city before when she learned that he was dating and not to someone else. Ji cries, and Shu tries to calm her down, and he was touched by her words, and she tells him that she thought he was going to break up with her, but he hugs her, telling her that he would have taken her by force if her family hadn't approved of their relationship. The drama ends at Ji's graduation party, when Shu presents her the wedding ring, proposing to her, and asking her to be with him for life. This is all for today's drama. If you like it, don't forget to hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel.